Hey, I'm Stan, and welcome to my shed converted into a tiny home. The way my family acquired this land is from my great-great-grandfather. He was a sharecropper back in the day. He set up the family land as Heirs Property, so that way the family in the future wouldn't be able to sell the land easily. My dad had bought this shed years ago, and it wasn't really being used. And I mentioned it to him that I could make it a house. So the shell itself was in good condition, but it definitely needed a lot of work on the inside to make it livable. It looks a lot better than it did when I first moved in. I'm not a pro. You will see some imperfections. I just learned as I go. So my monthly bills come up to $262 a month. That includes my water bill, utilities, and my Wi-Fi. Hey, I'm Stan, and welcome to my shed converted into a tiny home. So when I moved into my tiny home, I was 21 years old, and I've been living here for 3 years now. I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment by myself. The rent just kept going up. It sparked the idea in my mind to just brainstorm and think of a way that I could avoid paying rent. My dad had bought this shed years ago, and it wasn't really being used. And I mentioned it to him that I could make it a house. And he was all for it. And as soon as I told him, we went into action to start making it livable. Remember what it's looking like right now. It's gonna be a whole transformation. I'm moving into a tiny home, man. So as y'all can see, it's a whole lot more work to be done before I can move in. But once it's done, it's gonna look way different. So the shell itself was in good condition, but it definitely needed a lot of work on the inside to make it livable. And we did need permits before we could start doing any work on the inside. That was $500 just to get started. And then once we got started, for every stage, we had to get an inspector to come and inspect to make sure everything was good and up to code. So to completely convert it into a shed and make it livable, it took us about 3 to 4 months. So before I can live in it, I gotta go through a whole lot of motions, like get it inspected. And today I'm about to install some GFCI receptacle, man. You gotta have at least 3 of these in your house to make it legal to live in the state of North Carolina. Me and my dad was the main two. He helped me with everything from the drywall, insulation, electrical, plumbing. The tiny home itself, when my dad bought the shed, was $12K, and he financed that and paid it off. And then the building materials like lights, drywall, wood, and stuff like that was around $3 to $4K. So to completely convert the shed, it was around $16,000. So my monthly bills come up to $262 a month. That includes my water bill, utilities, and my Wi-Fi. We on the outside. As you see, we got the floodlight right here. So when I walk around, it's motion censored. It lights up the porch right here so I can see where I'm going. We got the gutter right here above the door. Before I installed this gutter, it was a lot of rain just dripping down right here like a waterfall when I walked out the door when it rained. So I definitely had to get that fixed. I went ahead and installed a gutter. It doesn't go all the way down yet. I plan on putting gutters all the way around the tiny home eventually, but I just wanted to get this up just to keep that water from dripping around the door. The downspout right here goes down and under the porch, and it comes out at the end of the porch. It runs the water away from the porch and doesn't allow the water to stand under the porch and make it soggy and mushy under there and rot the wood. As y'all see, we got dark gray paint that I painted on the tiny home. The whole tiny home was solid brown, but I feel like the dark gray and then the white trim brought it to life. It looks a lot better than it did when I first moved in. This is my new deck that I just built. I built it all myself by hand. This is my first big project, and I feel like it came out pretty good. So now we finally got a space outdoors that we can come outside and chill. And now we have the gazebo above it, so we have some shade outside and we're not in the beaming sun out here. And I got this gazebo from Domi Outdoor Living. It was a sponsorship on my YouTube channel. And we just got this set up a couple days ago, and I've been out here ever since, all day, changing up the scenery from being inside the tiny home all day. It just feels good to be able to come outside and have somewhere to chill out. Inside the deck, as y'all see, I added these lights, these recessed lights in here. I just wired them together, plugged them up, and now I got them running all the way around. This definitely lights it up and gives it a modern look at nighttime. This is my power box right here, my electrical panel. It runs up to the power lines, and over there, this is how I get all my electricity inside my tiny home. This is just a 100-amp panel, like it would be on a regular home. Got the water hose right here. This speaker right here actually used to be on another side of the yard, but me and my dad actually removed it and added the speaker right here on the side of the house so we don't have to go all the way over there for the water. You can see right here, this is my lines going to my septic. My septic is in this area right here. The septic was already here from years ago because there used to be houses on this land. It's been in the family for a long time, so it's already septic tanks on the land. The way my family acquired this land is from my great-great-grandfather, Heirs Wilkins. He was a sharecropper back in the day. He set up the family land as Heirs Property, so that way the family in the future wouldn't be able to sell the land easily. Where my tiny home sits now, Heirs Wilkins, he had the chicken coop and his outhouse right here in this area. So the land has been in the family for 3 generations now. On the property is me and my uncle, and my cousin, she lives across the street in a mobile home. So it's all family on the land still. The main goal of the land is just to continue to take care of it, keep it up. But to be honest, I don't plan on living here forever. I feel like this is more of just a stepping stone for me to get ahead in life. Living rent-free in a tiny home definitely helped me out a lot. But the ultimate goal is to get my own land, buy my own property, and start my own homestead that I can call 100% mine. Once I acquire my own property, hopefully my little brother or the next generation in the family can come reap the benefits on the family land of living rent-free. Now we're at the back of the tiny home. This is my garden right here, raised bed gardens. It's not flourishing like it should be right now because I've been so busy with other projects around the tiny home. We do have some oregano right here. It's a lot of oregano leaves. We just harvested some of this and took it into the tiny home. We used that in a lot of pasta and stuff like that. Next, we have my shed right here. I built the floor for the shed. I got the metal shed from Amazon. It's 10 by 12. It's been doing me pretty good. So yeah, I just keep all my e-bikes and stuff in there. Living in a tiny home, you definitely need extra storage, so this shed came in perfect. All right, as soon as you walk in, you got the living room space right here. This right here is my dog's cage. It's a decorative dog cage, you can see. Originally had a entertainment center right here that I customized myself. When I got my puppy, I decided to take it down and use this decorative cage to save space because I didn't want to have an extra crate and take up more space in the tiny home. I got this couch from Facebook Marketplace when I moved into my apartment. I brought it here to my tiny home when I moved in and it fit perfectly. We got the window right here. This window was originally not here. Me and my dad added this window into the tiny home. And I think it brought a lot of light into the tiny home. That helps a lot. Right here I got a wall heater that I got from Amazon. It's a small heater, but it does the job. I also have a radiating heater that I use for the back of the tiny home, and those two together heats up the tiny home pretty good. Originally, this wall was a roll-up door, a roll-up garage door. And I took the garage door down myself, and then me and my dad, we added this wall right here, and you can barely even tell that there was a garage door there. This ceiling fan was already in the shed when my dad was using it as storage. It was white, and it was just sitting here on the floor, so I was like, I could probably use that. And I spray painted it black to go with it's my favorite color is black, as y'all can't tell, so the black accents in the tiny home, I think it set it off pretty good. Right here, my YouTube plaque, 100,000 subscribers. On my YouTube channel, I do DIY projects around my tiny home, around the land and stuff like that. Yeah, that's my main content. Now let's head to the kitchen area. So as you walk into the kitchen, right before you get to the kitchen, this is my board right here, my whiteboard where I write down all my ideas, all the things I need to do for my content, just to make sure I stay organized and make sure I get everything done that needs to be done. And that's just a message right there from my girlfriend. She said, I love you. Next, this is my workstation right here. This is where I do all my editing, my streaming. I stream on Twitch, my organization for my clothing brand and everything like that. And down here on the floor is my CCTV. I don't have a table for it yet, but I plan on getting all this organized, all the wires and stuff. So, and the CCTV leads up here to my camera system. As y'all can see, we can see all around the tiny home. Before I got my window in my living room, it was hard to see outside and see who was outside my house. So when I'm sitting here working, I can just look up and see if somebody pulls up to my house or is outside. Moving on to the kitchen area, we got my mini fridge right here. I could fit a full-size fridge in here, but this is what I went with when I was first moving into my tiny home. It's been doing me good for 3 years. The only downside about a mini fridge is that I gotta make a lot of grocery store runs. So I do eventually plan on upgrading to a bigger fridge sooner or later. Stove right here. This stove was my dad's. He had this in his shop and he wasn't using it at the time. So when I was moving into my tiny home, I was trying to find every way to save money. So he allowed me to take the stove and use it in my tiny home. It's been doing great. Next, we got the countertops. Like I said, we save money every way we can. We got these countertops from a house that was being remodeled. I decided to take these countertops and utilize them in here. They're not the best, as you can see. They're not even all the way, but I wrapped them with a countertop wrap. I feel like it made it look a little bit better. But like I said, I do plan on upgrading a lot of things in the tiny home, but yeah, everything is working good for now. So right here, I have a water purifier. The system is down here under my sink. It's from Water Drop. It's a 3-stage filter. And yeah, we got purified water right here from the tap. As you come down the hallway, you see we got the AC unit right here. I have this one and I have one in my bedroom. They cool the house down a lot and it feels pretty good in here. That's really all I need. I do plan on adding a mini split here soon, probably this week. And I feel like I'll be able to take these AC units out of the window and close my windows up and not allow bugs to get in here, flies and stuff like that. So I feel like a mini split would definitely help a lot and save energy. So now we walk into the bathroom. First thing you see is the glass shower right here. I redid all these towels myself because I had mold behind the towels and I just had to break all the towels down and redo it myself. That was my first time doing any towel or anything. And yeah, I just learned as I go. I'm not a pro, so you will see some imperfections. As y'all see, the floor right here, it needs to be redone because I had a leak in my shower and it was going up under the floor right there. So that's a project that I need to work on soon. Right here, we have the hot water heater. I know it's pretty big, it takes up a lot of space, but soon I plan on getting a wall mounted water heater that utilize this space, probably put some cabinets right here or something. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff that I want to redo in my tiny home because when I was first moving in, I didn't have as much experience as I do now. So I plan on replacing this sink with a sink that has storage up under it so I can get all these bottles and stuff out of sight. And I just got this right here was from my old apartment. I just utilized it, put some stuff in there in the bathroom. And this is what I use for the door right here. It's just a fabric door from Amazon. One of my subscribers also sent me this, and I appreciate that. It is magnetic right here. It just clicks, just like that. So after you leave the bathroom, right here is my attic space, more storage space. I made this door myself. It was just a big opening right here before I did it. I brainstormed up a way to where I could close it off. Because when it was open, there was a lot of cold air coming down and making a tiny home cold. And during the winter time, I couldn't really deal with that. So I had to come up with a way to stop it. It's just a twist lock right here. It just comes down like that. And I put the insulation on there to block that cold air from coming down. And The way I get up there is just this ladder right here. Extension ladder, and just walk up. So as y'all see, I just use this as basically an attic. I know a lot of people have a lot of junk like this in their attic. Got Christmas ornaments and stuff like that. Just a lot of miscellaneous stuff that I don't want just sitting around in my tiny home. This area right here definitely comes in handy. Put the ladder back up and close up the door, just like that. Moving on to the bedroom, you see we got my bed right here. It's a queen size bed, and as y'all see, we still have a lot of room to walk around in here, even with a queen size bed. So for it to be a tiny home, this is definitely a good size bedroom. My closet right here, I added this, I built it myself. I do plan on building a door, or maybe I just use a door like we have on the bathroom. But yeah, this was just a blank wall right here, going straight down. And I added this closet. I just framed it in, and then I added a rod right here and a shelf to put all my clothes in. This was my first time actually like framing anything in, and I feel like I did a pretty good job. Like I said, I learned as I go. So this trim around the closet right here was originally white, and I sprayed painted that black to add that bold outline look. I think it came out pretty good. I feel like tiny home living, shed conversions are definitely the way to go, especially for young people. A lot of young people move out of their parents' house, start paying rent immediately. Sometimes when you're paying rent, it could feel like you're working just to pay rent. Being able to save money and actually spend money on things like traveling and investments other than just paying rent every month definitely gets you ahead.
If you like this week's episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check back soon because we have new unique home tours publishing all the time. And if you'd like to join our team and get access to members-only content and unique perks, make sure you click on the join button below.